Oh, yeah.
All right, now, what the deal is, it's DJ Devin Butler, and we are back with the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, Episode 1. DJ Avo got fired like Carlos Miller. He be back, though. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, man. I'm just here kicking it, man. What's happening?
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's good, Brodies and Bays? This is the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 95. This is where you come for your fantasy football needs and to chop it up about the latest NFL news. I am Dynasty Bro Dot here with my co-bro.
You got Dynasty Bro Vic, man. What's up, man?
And as you heard, DJ Avo is absent, so I had to reach in my bag, call my brother, and we got DJ Devin Butler in the building. How are you doing, my brother? You good?
I'm here.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So short notice, man. He's one of the finest DJs I'd have never met in my life. And not only do we have a stand-in DJ, we have a lovely guest today. And she got a fire name. Welcome, Ruth, a.k.a. Ruth the Truth, with like 17 H's. And she is strong out here. Yo, Ruth.
It used to be 4 H's, and then I cut it down to 3 to see if that would help a little bit. But honestly, it's a little obnoxious. But, you know, I couldn't figure out how to just have 1 H. I think that my name kind of emphasizes my personality, so you just got to keep on with the H's.
He said, the Ruth is on fire.
Hey, I had to count the H's to put my finger on it. I was like, 1, 2. Hey, I can dig the Triple H, so we'll go with that.
Well,
Yo, I like that.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here. And then on top of that, we got another fire guest for the Scout Report. We got my buddy Eastside Tony, my bro from back in the day. He came with a new track, 2 tracks actually. Got a new project out, TWOture 2. Go check it out. So he will be on later on. I'm excited about all this, man. It's a jam-packed episode. I don't know where to start. Say the topic, I guess. We're going to do QB Outlook, man. I got a couple QBs I would like to talk about. Vic got some, and then Ruth. Do I got to call you Ruth the Truth every time, or can I just call you Ruth every once in a while?
They honestly just call me the Truth, so you can just stick it to the Truth.
The Truth got a QB she get to talk about. That shit fire. All right, I'm excited about that. So we gonna get into QB Outlook. We got some what's the word, with Dynasty Bro Vic. We get into the Hood TMZ. Like I said, we got a Scout Report today. We might have some flag on the plays. It's jam-packed. We're gonna get into all of that. But every time we have a guest, my favorite thing we get to do is we get to go through a resume. And I asked Ruth, I was like, yeah, we're going to do a fantasy football and a real life resume. I hope you're ready. She was like, you need to get prepared. And I'm like, all right. So that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm excited to hear what she got to say. So what I usually do for the resume, I usually walk it down to make it easier for the guests. So I'll ask you a few questions. You don't have to do nothing but answer them. Is that cool?
Bring it on.
All right, here we go. We get into the resume with the truth. Let's start with real life football. Have you played any real life football in your life? And when did you start if you did?
Yes. So I grew up on a block with 5 boys, and I was the only female as an 8-year-old. So I grew up very tomboyish. So I started flinging that pigskin when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Okay. That's where we starting. All right. So position-wise, would you get to be the quarterback all the time? Where you go wide receiver? What was your favorite position when you went out there and played football with the boys?
My favorite position is obviously being a QB because I could throw a 45-yard spiral that will just have your grandma saying, "Woo boy." So I love playing football, but I wish I could play all positions because when I played flag football in high school, I was the varsity quarterback for our varsity team in high school, and our wide receivers weren't really that good. They kind of had a lot of butterfingers. It was girls. It was the first year that the school decided to have a girls flag football team. So these girls just they weren't having the hands. So I had to take a lot of the responsibility if I wanted to see points scored on the board. So our very first game, I will never forget this. It was on the road against Liberty High School.
Okay.
And I ran a 98-yard touchdown. Nice. 98 yards. So I juked about, I want to say I probably broke about 6 ankles on the way down the field, but that is definitely my most memorable moment of playing flag football in high school.
The truth.
Nice.
The truth.
I get it now. The truth.
All right.
Put some H's on there, man.
But you know what? Even though I'm really good at football and I'm really good at throwing the football, I actually think I'm better at shooting threes. So honestly, I don't know what I'm better with, is basketball or football. You guys think the truth is a joke, but I'm bringing the facts.
All right, do we have any video proof of all this stuff now at this point?
If you go onto my Instagram, Sports Truth with Babe Ruth on Instagram, I do have a couple of my 3-point shooting videos on there, as well as my personal Instagram, which is Too Legit. Yeah, you heard it first. Too Legit. On my personal Instagram, I have a whole bunch of videos on there of me hitting like 16 threes in a row.
Nice. Hey, I like the energy off top, man. So that's what's up.
Yeah, honestly, like the reason I got into sports media was because I'm like accident prone and I used to get injured a lot. So I wanted to play college ball, but my senior year I got hurt, of course. So I spent half the season on the bench. So I didn't really have any scholarships for playing basketball. So the next best thing, you still want to be up and close with the athletes, is to get into sports media. And I like to talk a lot. So I was like, this is a great avenue for me,
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. So speaking of, you said you played flag football in high school. Do you still indulge in flag football?
So I played for a Disney league, I want to say 3 years ago, but that was the last time, because from the Disney league that they had just for cast members, because I worked at Disney for 7 years, they have a league for just cast members, and basketball season was overlapping football season, so I could only choose one. So I decided to play for the Division I Disney team, because I was the only girl. So I was like, I felt like I needed to play. Like, as much as I wanted to go play football, I was like, I'm the girl. I got to hold it down. I'm the only girl on our Division I team. So I had to show up.
Okay, funny story. My guy Vic chose to go play flag football a couple years back. And he's an athlete back in the day. He forgot that was back in the day and we grown ups. My guy wasn't doing stretching, nothing. He was coming up. He called me one day. Was like, bro, what did it feel like when you ruptured your Achilles? I'm like, bro, I could barely walk. He was like, me too. So like, take us through your flag football, Vic. How did your season go?
Man, for one, I got out there with no ankle braces, didn't stretch as much, still think I'm 22. And yeah, it all went downhill from there. So all bad. But I'm done. Well, actually, we're going to Canton for the Fantasy Expo. I think it's a flag football game out there. I'll probably get in that. Then after that, I'm done again. So
I just moved to the Tampa area from Orlando, and I know Orlando had a lot of flag football leagues that were co-ed, and I would just love to find that here in Tampa. So, but I'm new to the area, so we'll see.
All right, that's fire. Any more interesting facts about your real life football resume before we get over to the fantasy football resume?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys want to, check the facts, you could just go onto my Instagram again, and you guys could see all the goodness on there. But no, let's move on to the next topic.
Okay, so fantasy football. When did you start playing fantasy football?
So I've only played 2 seasons of fantasy football in the last 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie, definitely not my strong suit, because I know it's something that you really got to take your time on. It's like a baby. You got to caress it. You got to feed it every day. You got to change its diaper. And it was just too much. It's too much maintenance for me. So I always kind of forget to, who's not playing, who's on the bye week. I need to bench this player. It's just too much for me. And I have so much going on in my personal life that I never make the playoffs. So I don't even think I'm going to play.
I didn't.
Yeah, my 2 seasons I've played, I've never made the playoffs. So I think I didn't come in dead last season, but the season before I came in dead last. So
awesome. I can skip. Let me cross that question off real quick. No championships won, basically. When you were indulging in it, was it just like one league you were in? Was it a couple leagues you were in?
Only one at a time. That's all I could handle, and I could barely manage that. So
that's fire, man. I tell you, I'm in a good 15 leagues, but I know some guys
that's a full-time job. I don't understand. Do you have a bookie? How do you keep track of all this?
That's why we do fantasy.
It's a lifestyle.
Right. I see that. No, I know the sports community really takes fantasy football super serious. There's money involved, so I get it, because it's really entertaining to be able to watch, but it's kind of conflicting at the same time when you're watching your team on a Sunday, but you have a player that somebody else in your league that you're facing against has a player playing that day, and they're going off, and you're like, you want to root for them because they're your favorite team, but then you're also going to lose in your fantasy league. It's really conflicting.
Yeah. Hey, but at the end of the day, we do welcome all experience levels, so all good there. Hopefully, you're willing to play again in the future.
How many championships do you have? How many rings are you guys carrying?
I probably won. I want to say I won like 3 or 4 championships.
One a year at least.
All right, so out of those 15, you're only gonna win one.
Hey, first of all, hey, do you feel some type of way, Vic?
Look, first of all, it takes luck to win fantasy championship. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't care how much analysis you take in. You know, I know a lot of people like to flex, and I told you to play this person, but it takes luck at the end.
And people get hurt. Like injuries are unavoidable, so it's like you never really see that coming. I was super excited picking up Dak last year. I'm like, oh yeah, I got Dak. Dak's about to go off. First 4 weeks were amazing,
Yes.
and then it's like you just get hit by a train. It's so disappointing.
He hurt us in the Scott Fish Bowl. I think we would have won if we had him in the Scott Fish Bowl.
Yeah,
I think so too.
All right, so hey, fire resume. I'm actually excited to hear about your real life resume. That was pretty fire.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that the next question?
Nah, I said I was like excited to hear about your real life resume, like for football. I was excited to hear about your real life football resume.
All right, so can I go ahead and tell you about it? Maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, was that a question or?
Nah, I was just saying I was excited when you told us the first time that you played with younger back with the boys, and then you played some flag football in high school, and then played 3 years ago. You said.
Yeah.
You had no messed up ankles or nothing? Bad bones?
No. Most of my injuries, for some reason, came from basketball because I have bad ankles. So I always used to roll my ankles a lot playing ball. But I never really had much injuries when it came to football season for some odd reason. I guess it's because it's like flag football, so no one's tackling you. Like, you're not getting slammed to the ground. So.
Yeah, that's fire. Okay. Hey, shout out to her resume. That was a pretty good resume.
It's fire. It's fire.
10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. What am I getting?
9.7. It would have been
9.7. I'll take it. Decimal points. Let's go.
If you didn't make me feel bad about the winning championships, I would have gave you a 10. That's messed up. All right. So look, all right, now that we're done with the resume, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the what's the word, and that's where we go through the main topics and the main news for the week. Vic does his research. He comes and brings back everything that he thinks is interesting, and whether I think is interesting or not, he's going to say it. I'm going to try to chime in as best as I can, but that's what he does best, and it's called the Hood TMZ, and we're going to do that with Dynasty Bro Vic. You ready, brother?
I'm ready, man. Let's jump right into it. So I got to start with the big news. Our guy, Richard Sherman, got arrested. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but apparently tried to break and enter into his in-laws' house in Washington, the state of Washington. So, man, a lot going on there. I know he's a free agent, so who knows what, led up to all that, but definitely hope, he's in good spirits from a mental standpoint. His wife did put out a statement out there just saying no one was hurt, so she's definitely, supporting her husband through this.
Yeah.
But it definitely made me think about, just given coming out the pandemic, a lot of people, we're still in the pandemic, but a lot of people are going through a lot of things, and it made me think about CTE and stuff like that, man. Like, that's just kind of where my mind went, just seeing him go berserk, trying to break in. So, what are your thoughts on the whole Richard Sherman incident?
I think it's really unfortunate. I think the timing of it is absolutely terrible because he's a free agent and looking for a new home. I was hoping that Jerry Jones would open up that pocketbook a little bit more. I mean, I know that he put out a lot of money for Dak, but I was hoping to sign a veteran like Richard Sherman. But we're still kind of peeling back the details of the incident. I think what really caught my attention was the DUI of a single car incident that happened before him getting to his in-laws' house. I think that's a little more... That's more concerning is like, okay, was he driving under the influence? Is that what influenced the whole incident at the in-laws house?
Yeah.
Lot to break down there, but I'm glad that you mentioned CTE because that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, these football players put their bodies and their heads and their brains through so much trauma. And I understand why some of a lot of the players and the Players Association were not a fan of adding an extra game on the end of the season because they already put their heads through so much. So I had the privilege of interviewing Vincent Jackson before his tragic passing, and it's sad, and it needs to be talked about more because these players are more than just athletes; they're humans.
Yeah, because the impression is like stuff, and again, I'm not saying this is a CTE incident, but it just made me think about that. But when you do think about CTE, a lot of people associate it with post football, like once they're retired, but I'm thinking about early stages, and So that's kind of where my mind went. But again, it could be a combination of things. So more to come as, the story unfolds. So.
Yeah, and there's a company called Odyssey that I've partnered up with as a sponsorship for the Tom Gronkowski show that I do with Fans Only Sports Network. And they're a company that is dedicated to finding out how to avoid CTE for these pro athletes. And they've hit a lot of milestones. So I'm hoping with technology and the progression that they've been having that we could avoid these crazy stories that we hear about players that are in the league, players after the league. Like, we need to eliminate this problem. I know things can't get perfect, but they can definitely make it better.
Yep. Yeah. Physical and mental health is important.
Absolutely. Mental health is just as important as your physical health.
Absolutely. Facts. All right, let's keep it pushing. Shout out to my guy, Adam Schefter, on Twitter. So if you guys don't know, Atlanta kicker Kim Young-Ho Koo, he actually had his Grand Cherokee Jeep stolen. So he actually put a message out on Instagram like, look, he's like, motherfucker.
Where was he at? Like, where was he, like, in the hood? Like, what happened?
I don't know where he was at, but he was like, motherfucker stole my Jeep. I don't care about that. Just give me my cleats back. So that's all he wants. So just giving that, hey, I get it. He's a kicker, and just any athlete, like, you're particular about your shoes, your cleats. So he was like, look, you can keep the Jeep. Just give me back my cleats. So hopefully he gets his cleats back.
They should drop his cleats in the same spot where he took the picture of the Jeep missing. I was hoping that's what happened. That shit was going to be funny.
I mean, maybe whoever stole the car kind of maybe knew who the car belonged to, and it was all like a plan to get his cleats to sell them on eBay or something, because he had a phenomenal season last year. People were talking about him in like an all-star caliber, so maybe that was the intention.
Yeah, he might have been driving through Zone 6 or something, or leaving Magic City. I don't know.
Shut up.
All right, we'll say that for another day. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. So shout out to Shefty again. Also, ESPN.com. I don't know if you guys know, but Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are actually going to headline and host Monday Night Football on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. So Peyton Manning has a Omaha Productions. This is a media company, so they're slated for 10 games each season for the next 3 years, starting this year. So
shout out to Peyton, hometown hero. Shout out.
And maybe they'll keep Peyton busy so he can stop putting those terrible insurance commercials out. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but shout out to Peyton. He brought us a Super Bowl.
Hometown hero.
My squad, Indianapolis Colts. So we'll take it. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure it'll be fun seeing.
Oh, you're an Indianapolis Colts fan.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So not only do I want to talk about Tom Brady later, but we're also going to mention Carson Wentz and his expectations going into next season.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Another thing. Shout out to Shefty again. The man's on fire. But I don't know if you guys know, this offseason, the Packers did offer Aaron Rodgers a 2-year contract extension, which would have kept him in Green Bay for the next 5 seasons. It would have made him the highest paid quarterback, and not only that, the highest paid NFL player, but he still declined that. So what are your thoughts on that, the whole Aaron Rodgers situation?
It's messy. It's getting real messy in Green Bay, and it's all starting with front office. So it's not really, it's kind of out of Matt LaFleur's hands, and I feel really bad for all the controversy that's been going on in the locker room. It's probably stirring up a lot of drama within the players themselves, because I mean, there's a lot of pressure on whether Jordan Love is going to be able to step up into play if Aaron Rodgers doesn't decide to play. I like seeing the dumpster fire. I'm definitely watching with my popcorn because it's making me excited, because Green Bay is always the thorn in the side in the NFC. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be in a Green Bay Packers uniform going into week 1 of the NFL season?
Part of me feels like a yes, but even though he's clearly turned down the money, but clearly it's a stalemate, right? So it appears he's pushing for a trade, but let's say if a trade doesn't happen, then are we looking at a holdout? Part of me still feels like he's going to play week 1. I could be completely wrong, but my gut is saying, at least right now, he's going to be out there week 1. That's just my hunch. What are your thoughts, Doc?
Nah.
It's a holdout?
Nah. I think this new lady in his life is definitely maybe showing him a different light, that she's like, just come be a Jeopardy host. You don't need to play football anymore.
Yeah, that Green Bay shit dead, bro.
Hey, not my squad. So, all right, look, let's keep it pushing. One last thing for the news. I do want to shout out NBA 2K22. Candace Parker made the cover. That's history. So, hey, what's up the alley of, hey, girl power, lady power, woman power. So that's what's up, man. So shout out to Candace Parker making history there. That's dope. So
yeah, and there's been a lot of controversy of why it's only Candace Parker and not like another plethora of WNBA players. But it's like Candace has really been putting the work, not to take away from Diana Taurasi, not to take away from the other elite WNBA players, but Candace Parker has been in the league for over a decade, and the way that she's been able to hold her own on what was it, NBA TV, when she was like going toe to toe with Shaq, like she represents the WNBA in the greatest light, and it's just a step in the right direction. I mean, this is going to be a domino effect. We're going to see more of the NBA supporting the WNBA, and it's just really exciting to see.
She the truth. What'd you say, Devin?
Home. She went back home to the Shy, put her own jersey on, her own city on.
Crazy, right?
Yep.
And even if she would have stayed as a LA Sparks, like I still would have had so much respect for her. But it is nice to have her in Chicago, because they went from, you know, having a losing season so far during the regular season, and Candace Parker has come in and just completely changed the culture. And it's great to see.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, NBA 2K, they also include WNBA in the game as well. So you can actually run some, you know, women's games as well, which is dope. So, all right. Now,
okay, so that's one thing I will admit, though. All right, if I'm speaking the truth, and only the truth comes out my mouth. Video games, when it comes to sports games, I'm terrible at Madden. I'm terrible at 2K, but I am good at FIFA. So let me tell you, sports on the control is a whole nother ball game. I need the physical, real thing. Like I can't play these little games.
I was about to say, even if you was good, my guy Vic could beat you in Madden no matter what. That's my guy, and I double down on it.
hey, you heard him. So
Yeah.
I do play Madden, so that's my game. But I do mess with FIFA. That's a good game. So I like
FIFA's fun. I like it.
FIFA is fun. All right, now we're going to the flag on the play. But actually, before we do that, let's backtrack. Injuries.
Oh man, can I talk about my guy Cam Akers, man? Can we pause the music for a second, man?
What's going on? Break the news.
Second year running back for the Los Angeles Rams. Torn Achilles today, training, out for the whole season. It's my guy. Honestly, man, if you put any kind of news article out about it without sending prayers up to him and his family and speedy recovery, you know, that's just finding a way to boost what you got going on, man. That's a man first before you're a football player. And he was young, and he was one of the guys everybody expected to take over and have a big role. So, fuck football. I hope he gets together soon. The Achilles injury is serious, and just get back to daily football after an injury like that is hard. So prayers up to him, his family, and we send him good vibes to a speedy recovery. That's what.
I had Cam Akers for my fantasy team last year, and he's what saved me from not being dead last. So thank you. And it's really unfortunate to see him not, because I mean the Rams were looking stacked. I mean, with Matthew being led by Matthew Stafford, you have an offensive weapons, you have running backs, you have the Super Bowl caliber defense. Like they were going to be incredible. So it is super disappointing. I actually had no idea. So thank you for breaking the news.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, and I do want to put it out there as a community, especially fantasy football community. We got to do a better job of not being so selfish, like literally hearing the Cam Akers news and thinking about your fantasy team. Like my guy Dot said, he's a human being. You know, he's someone's son, someone's brother, someone's nephew. So put the player first. You know, fantasy football comes last, to be honest with you. Like real people's lives. So speedy recovery.
Yeah, I mean, because you never know how this is going to project the rest of his career, because that's a pretty serious injury. So all prayers go up to Cam Akers and his family.
Absolutely. All right, so the flag on the play, we like to do these segments. Everybody doesn't have one every week, but the flag on the play is your opportunity to call somebody out for some BS they did, or if they did something stupid, got locked up, got themselves in trouble, just did something where they knew they shouldn't have did it, and we need to call them out on it without it being disrespectful. So that's the flag of the play. We like to do it every single week, and I don't have one this week, but I'll ask Devin, if you have a random flag on the play, it doesn't have to be about football. It could be about anything, a different sport. It could be about life. It could be about football owners. It could be, like I said, it could be about anything that you want to call out. I don't have one this week. Vic always has one. He does well with them. So if Devin, if you have one, you can speak up. In the truth, if you have one, you can go in too. So I don't know who wants to start. I guess Vic can start.
I got two.
Okay, Vic got two, so let him start, and then if somebody else have one, then he can double back.
It's gonna be quick. First one, let's go to the basketball world. So if you guys saw the Game 5 loss for the Suns, there's a reporter that asked Devin Booker with Chris Paul sitting next to him, Devin, how frustrated are you for Chris Paul? What kind of dumbass question is that? Like, come on, man. Like, they just look at each other like, man, next question. Like, I don't know if you guys.
Okay. I know that it was a bad question, but being in that situation many times, it is so nerve-wracking to when it's called your turn to like really get your point across. I found myself sometimes, especially like, all right, let's say, because this is what they do. People will raise their hand and they'll be like, okay, you're after him, you're after him, you're after him. Say that you're about to go next, and the guy before you says your question, and then they're like, okay, go ahead, Ruth. And you're just like, I don't got nothing. So just whatever vomit comes out of your mouth. Sometimes it's not the most pleasant. So I'm pretty sure that as soon as that left the reporter's mouth, he was just like, wait, let me try to rephrase that. But yeah, I'm glad. I was happy with the way that Devin Booker handled the situation.
Damn, now I feel bad.
Nah, hell no, Ruth. You the truth, but he's still getting his flag on the play for that question. Fumble the bag or whatever.
I have some backup questions on deck.
Or shut up. He should have said next. Once he didn't have it, he should have been like, I'm gonna come back. Scared.
Come back to me. Come back to me.
Yeah, come back to me.
But that was interesting perspective from the media side. So
Yeah,
I appreciate that insight.
All right.
No, it's a pressure situation. You're almost out. You feel like you're at the free throw line. You know, there's 3 seconds left on the clock. You're down by 4. You're like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of pressure.
All right, DJ Devin Butler, do you have a flag on the play randomly on the fly? I didn't get you ready for it, but
my flag on the play is everybody talking down on Space Jam. All these 30-year-olds plus talking down on Space Jam. It wasn't made for you. Go. You know what I'm saying? Just bad acting. Okay, it's all right. I enjoyed it.
I like the movie because I knew it wasn't for me. I had a kids' night with all my little cousins, and it's for them the same way how Space Jam was for us when we were kids.
Yes,
it's not for your grown ass. You try to critique and decide I don't like it. It's too extra for me. Yeah, it's a kids' movie. Grown ass,
for sure.
Good flag on the play, bro.
I like that.
Hey, the truth. Is it the with a T or duh like DA?
No, the with a T.
Hey, the truth. Do you have a flag on the play on the fly randomly?
The only thing that comes to mind is probably just a situation that happened at the Washington Nationals game. That whole shootout next to the stadium.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on? Like, that is definitely not a situation you want to find yourself in. Super scary. Everybody at the stadium. I'm glad that more people weren't hurt, and prayers out to the people that were affected. I believe a woman was shot, but it wasn't any fatal injuries. But like right outside of the stadium, like that's pretty crazy. I put a flag on the play for that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I agree, man. And you got kids at the ballpark. Some of them experiencing their first game, so you just
that's tragic.
So that's trash.
I've actually been in a situation like that, and let me tell you, that whole panic of not knowing what's going to happen next, and when you're questioning, like, could this be it for me? Like, I would never wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah, facts. All right, Vic,
last flag.
Vic get to his last flag.
All right, it's gonna go to Unc. You know who Unc is, Ruth?
Unc?
Yeah, Unc. Shay Sharp.
Shay.
Yeah.
Unc Shay. So Shannon Sharp, for you guys who don't know, he gets a flag.
Disputed.
Yeah, and this is rare. This is rare because Shannon he does well with the way he speaks and the way his opinion is on things. So,
but I will say one thing: calling Julio Jones while you're on the live set, not telling him that you're on live TV, that was kind of shady.
Yeah, we actually talked about that.
Flag.
I actually thought that he may have gave a heads up, but he staged it like he didn't, because I think as him being an ex-NFL player, he knew better.
You know how the media works. I think it was staged too, but I can see from the perception, that it gave off. So, but my flag still go to Unc, because sometimes you gotta, flag your uncles and aunties. It's all good. But pretty much he basically said, Lamar, you're on the verge of earning generational wealth. Why risk it? Why are you out there running on asphalt with kids with no shoes on, stuff like that? So if you guys don't know, Lamar Jackson just had like a camp over this past weekend, and kids were excited. He's out there running routes with them. I mean, for me, let the guy get out there and make an impact on the kids. Like, that's everything to those kids, especially if you go back to the neighborhood, stuff like that. So sometimes it's not all about the money. So I got a flag for that, man.
So he just criticized him for not wearing shoes while he was running on the asphalt?
Well, just the risk in general. For him, it was just a risk in general, just being out there running routes with little kids. And
I guess the way that Big Unc is looking at it is that right now, Lamar Jackson is seeking an extension with the Baltimore Ravens. So maybe he's just kind of like, hey, dude, when you're trying to get big money, you can't put anything at risk. Like, freakish accidents happen all the time. So maybe you just need to be more cautious. I don't know. I don't think he meant anything bad by it, though.
I'm still giving him a flag just on the wording, the way he put it out there.
Like, was it very like aggressive, like rah rah kind of?
just didn't like the tone.
He made it sound like reading it and hearing it made it sound like, bruh, it's all about the money. But you gotta think, like, as an athlete and as a superstar, when you become a superstar and you got millions of kids and people where you come from that look up to you, you can go do things that, I mean, shit happens. You can walk outside and fuck your shit up. That shit happens. So, going out there running at 20-30% speed to show that these kids can actually reach out and be touched by you, because you're viewed as an icon to so many kids. They look up to you. Like, he should have known that it's bigger than football for some people. It's not just looking for a contract, because that's the problem now, and everybody's just looking for a contract when it's much more than that to a lot of people, and it should be.
Yeah, do you remember the video that just went viral recently of Lamar Jackson giving the homeless guy $100?
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that video? You got to look it up. He was joking around with the guy. He was with a couple of his friends, but he really kind of showed true character, because the guy was like, "You're a football player, right?" And he was like, "If you can guess my name, I'll give you $100." And like the guy was guessing, and kept getting it wrong, but he still gave the guy $100. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Gotcha. Right. I'm gonna check that out. All right, that's all the flags I got. Before we get to the main topic, Ruth, tell the people where they can follow you at.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll give you a follow back. I promise. It's Ruth the Truth with 3 H's at the end. Just 3, not 17. Sorry about that. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram as well, I'm kind of building more of a concept of going live on Instagram more often. So if you guys want recent content of, up-to-date sports news, you make sure to follow me on my Instagram. It's Sports Truth with Babe Ruth.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and there's a lot cooking in the lab right now. A lot cooking. So make sure to follow me. I'll give you a follow back and just get ready for all the content.
Looking forward to it.
All right, DJ Devin Butler, tell the good people where they can follow you at on the social medias.
DJ Devin Butler. Everywhere.
All right, that's fine. All right, hey Vic, where can they follow you at, my brother?
You can follow me at TWOture. That's Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Also on the PlayStation Network if you want that work. But be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Dynasty Bros FF, wherever you listen. Join the Facebook community, Dynasty Bros FF Podcast. Leave a review. We appreciate it.
And follow me at Dynasty Bro Style on Instagram and Twitter. And follow the main Instagram handle. That's Dynasty Bros FF. All right, so let's get into this main topic real quick. Make it good and sweet. We're going to do preseason QB outlook. What we did was just wanted to just talk about some guys. We didn't want to do anything in particular. We didn't have no kind of rankings to do right now. We just wanted to kind of, since we're in the off season, try to do the things that we want to do, and try not to listen to what all these other podcasts and analysts are all talking about on ESPN. So we want to just talk QB outlook right now, just some guys that we're excited with. Try to do a veteran, try to do some rookies, just to speak on, maybe buy, sell. That's what we're doing right now. So I got a couple, Vic got a couple, and then the Truth with 3 H's got a couple, and then that's what we're gonna do. So y'all ready?
Sounds good. Kick it off.
Ready.
Kick it off.
All right, I'm gonna kick it off, and let's talk about the guy that the Truth said that she drafted last year. She said he's a big fan of him. Let's talk about Mr. Dak Prescott. My lead guy for being comeback player of the year, if you ask me. It seems pretty easy to guess him, or maybe a Christian, but they usually go with quarterbacks when it comes to these awards. But look, quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, they're doing a Hard Knock, so there's going to be cameras on him. He's going to be able to show his leadership and all of that good shit. I'm excited about that. But let's talk about his numbers, because he really only played 5 games last year, and really, if you look at it, it was really only 4 complete games. Mm-hmm. But in those 5 games, this man put up 151 fantasy points. And if that don't mean anything to you, the year before he put up 371, and the year before they put up 305. He basically put up half the amount of fantasy points from 2 years ago when he was quarterback 14 in 4.5 games. 4.5 damn games. He put up half the numbers that he did in the season he was quarterback 14. The year before he was quarterback 2, 371. You telling me if you put in 10 games, he's going to be at 300 fantasy points, and he only needs 7 more to make up those 70? Like, this man was on a tear. The defense, yeah, they drafted all defensive picks all this draft. That's fine, but these are a bunch of rookies that got to go out there and prove themselves. So I love the offense. Everybody loves Amari Cooper. Everybody loves CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup is a great third. You're talking about one of the best wide receiver tandems that they have. Zeke is looking like he's back to rare form when it comes to his shape. Tony Pollard's back there. Everybody's excited. The O-line has a chance to bounce back. The offense should be super explosive, way more than what it was last year. And the defense doesn't look like it took a big turnaround to where it should change the way that the gameplay was going last year. So if you ask me to double down on a guy that's 27 years old, just got paid, and really the offense should elevate, I'm putting all my money on Dak. It's cool to have Pat Mahomes. You can have a running back in Lamar. You can have a guy like Kyler who's still figuring it out and he's young. But give me the guy who's already a quarterback 2 the year before, QB 14, finding out the swing of things the year before that, and just look like he's finding his way, man. He's a leader. He has the weapons around him, and we love teams that have bad defenses because that means the offense is going to have to play. So Dak Prescott is my guy going into drafts. I'm trying to trade for him in Dynasty and redrafts. He's my guy I'm trying to go pick up. That's my Dak Prescott. How y'all feel about it? Well, Truth, you follow up, Truth, so then you can piggyback, and I'm going to ask Vic how you feel.
I'm super excited that you went with Dak Prescott. I mean, the numbers show. Like, this guy was, like, even after he got injured, I think it was like week 7, he still had better numbers than Jared Goff. He still had better numbers than Carson Wentz. He still had better numbers than over half the QBs in the league, and he was out for 3 weeks. So that speaks to a testament of its own. He puts up great numbers. As you said, with the defense being so bad, that means the offense is on the field a lot more, which means it's more opportunities for him to put up yards and put up points. He is definitely that QB for Dynasty going into next season.
Facts. Vic, how you feel?
I'm all in on Dak, man. Like, I like the situation. I mean, he already had a chip on his shoulder before the injury, especially dealing with the whole contract situation. They finally paid him. So, of course, coming back off this injury, I do see him coming back with another chip. So, hey, CeeDee Lamb's going to take a leap. You still got Amari Cooper. Michael Gallup's a nice piece. I like that offense, man, and I'm expecting Zeke to bounce back as well. So, I'm excited. Looking forward to Hard Knocks.
Yeah, me too. Would you say that you think that the Dallas Cowboys offense is probably the most elite out of the NFC East? You think it would be easy for them to win the division? I mean, over Washington, led by Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, I know that they have a dominant defense and a great running back, but do they have enough to beat Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC?
They definitely got the most
East.
firing power,
Yeah,
as far as from an offense standpoint.
Easy.
But I will say this: the NFC East is starting to beef up their defense. You got the Washington football team, of course, the Eagles. You know, they're spotty with their defense. It depends on what game. Giants, they're trying to build their defense up. So I do, you know, at least in the past, it's kind of been a wide open race for the NFC East. But those teams are starting to play a little bit more defense.
All right, one more question on this division, then I'll let it go.
All right.
Saquon or Zeke?
I'm gonna go with Saquon.
Oh,
I'm going Saquon in redraft and Dynasty, man. Saquon is a damn alien.
I know. He just posted the pictures on social media of his cannon-like legs that are like the size of my torso. Like, I don't understand it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
My guy Johnny Dean said Saquon too. All right, that's what's up. I'm in the
I
comments.
respect it. I mean, after the season, after the numbers Zeke put it up last year, I can't blame anybody for doubting Zeke. But I feel like he has a chip on his shoulder. He's got Dak coming back, so it might be a rebirth time for Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right, Ruth. What QB you want us to look at?
Can we talk about Tom Brady? Can we talk about the legend? Can we talk about the GOAT? It's been insane to think that this man has put up the numbers that he did, that carried his team throughout the playoffs. I mean, obviously with a lot of help from that powerful defense, because Tampa Bay really showed that that defense wins championships. It's obvious. If you don't allow the other team to score touchdowns, you're a shoo-in because you already have the offensive weapon. So I'm expecting Tom Brady to play phenomenally this year. I mean, I don't know if he's high ranked on the Dynasty fantasy numbers. I know that he has a lot of offensive weapons and more chances for him to get more yardage, but can you believe that he played with a whole MCL tour pretty much the whole entire season? Insane thing.
That's crazy. And he won a Super Bowl on it.
And he won a Super Bowl on it. After the Road Warriors winning against the Washington football team, and then, ended up playing the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. When you have someone like Aaron Rodgers, league MVP, that's on a roll, and they were just able to go away with the win. It's crazy. So Tom Brady is definitely going to be the QB that I'm going to have my eyes on. And I mean, since I live right next to the stadium, I'm up close and center.
GOAT talk. I don't bet against Tom Brady. He's probably a guy that if you could try to go buy cheap, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays 2-3 more good seasons. And you don't have to go try to spend QB1 money on him. And he could put up QB1 numbers probably for this year at least, maybe even next year. Listening to his trainer talk today.
Yeah, so I know he's at least locked in to play until he's age 45. I could definitely see him playing until he's 50, but he's not going to do that. So you guys probably
wouldn't it be crazy though? Can you really put it past him?
Yeah, at this point I can't. But you know what? If there's someone who could do it, it's Tom. I mean, he still looks young. You know what I mean? Like he still,
I know it's like he's getting younger by the year. I don't understand. The TB12 diet is no joke.
He's a vampire.
He's a vampire.
All right, I got a QB for you guys as well. So I want to talk about Mr. Lamar Jackson. So for me, this is a guy that's being taken as the 4th QB off the board in 1 QB leagues, also in Superflex. And I want to look at his floor and his ceiling. So of course, he's only been a full-time starter for 2 seasons, even though he's been in the league for 3 years, going to his 4th season. But of course, it's year 2, first year as a full-time starter, finished as QB1, and of course, last season finished as QB10. So this is a guy that I feel is being forgotten about, just getting all these rookie hypes and all these other QBs that are emerging, like Justin Herbert and these rookies coming in. But I'm still all in on Lamar Jackson. I got to switch the beat up. But look, I want to take a look at some of his efficiency stats. So let's talk about like the money downs, which is 3rd down, and also what he does in the red zone. So of course, I know he gets a lot of knock for his accuracy, but he gets it done on 3rd down, keeps the team on the field. So this past season, Lamar put up a total of 332 fantasy points. 112 of those points came on 3rd down plays, whether he's running the ball or completing passes. Let's take a look at the red zone. He finished 2nd in red zone completion percentage behind Aaron Rodgers, who finished with 68.3%. Actually, I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers finished with 72.6%. Lamar finished with 68.3% in the red zone. So at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson turns up on the money downs and in the money zone. So you need to play on 3rd down, gets it done. And if you need to play in the red zone, I'm sure Mark Andrews helps out with a lot of that. Gets it done, man. So I'm just excited. I mean, this is a guy who he averages 30 touchdowns in the air and 7 touchdowns on the ground. So I like that, man. What are your thoughts on that?
I love Lamar Jackson. I hope he gets a contract extension and he's in Baltimore for long term. I really think that the organization is behind him and really believes in him, and he can be the future of football. But people will just kind of like to say, like the narrative around Lamar Jackson is his style of play, that running mentality as a quarterback will not win you a championship. So I wanted to know what you guys felt about that.
Oh, he got it. I think if they keep on keeping a solid defense around him and keep giving him things that make it convenient for that style to work, so it's not like so much of him running.
But do you really want your quarterback running more yards than your running back? Like, it's just kind of that.
I'm not mad at it. Here's the thing. I think that keeps the defense on their heels. But my thing is, I do think that what they're doing right now is they gave him Rashad Bateman this year. That's one of the guys I'm really excited about. What they're doing is they're starting to blanket him with weapons that make it convenient for him to do things when he does decide to run the ball. And I do think there's a balance with Lamar. I do think he still needs to run. I'm not saying he needs to run for 1,500 yards a year, but I think there's a balance in the system in general where he needs to run for 500-600 yards. They went and got J.K. Dobbins, which they wasn't investing in anybody young for a while. They was getting all these older backs that were decent, but they went and got a guy that fits the scheme coming out of college that works well with him. So he'll be good. Gus Edwards is one of the big bulky backs. I think they're going to keep him on deck. And I think they're working around Lamar so it doesn't have to be that like run heavy, but I still think he needs to run a good amount enough to keep the defense on their heels and make the wide receiver weapons be more efficient and more open. I think it all works together. I'm not saying he's going to run like his sophomore year, but last year he calmed it down a little bit, but I don't think they had enough around him for it. But I think they're working on it, and I think it's going to work out long as they keep that system going. And they keep
I think one of my most my favorite games of last season was that matchup between the Cleveland Browns and Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. That game where they went, touchdown for touchdown, and then did Lamar get injured at the end of the game because they came back? Like, it was all just a real question. Like, I wonder if he accidentally had an accident in his jaws and he just had to go change real quick, because he came back on that field and throw a touchdown like it was nothing.
Yeah, and for fantasy football, I like Lamar. He can help bring home a fantasy championship for you. But as far as real life football, I feel like in these big games, he puts all the weight on his shoulders. So I would like to see him, let the game come to him, leverage his teammates a little bit more. It just seems like in these playoff games when they fizzle out, Lamar puts the game on his shoulder, and from there, it just doesn't work. So hopefully we, see him take a different approach to these big games.
True that. All right, so what we're going to do is let's all go around and name one more guy that kind of intrigues us, whether we like him or whether it's like, kind of iffy on him. I don't know what to think about him. Maybe I need y'all help to kind of help me sway a certain way about him, and I can go first with that too.
Right.
And this is a guy we have no stats about. This is a guy that I just been loving. Vic's been knowing for a while, just been talking about him. Justin Fields, rookie quarterback for Chicago Bears, and they said he's not going to start. They would be complete idiots if they start Andy Dalton. Just my opinion. But this is a guy that I think has every tool to be a very good superstar in this league. And he has a superstar wide receiver right now that if they let him start working and get some kind of rapport with him, I think that would be perfect. He has Allen Robinson out there, sophomore wide receiver Darnell Mooney to bring it Tariq Cohen back. That could help the flow of things. You got somebody that could dump it out the backfield. Like, I really love the situation. I really think they need to let him start sooner than later because he has a leadership mentality. He played at a big school. He played in some of the biggest games in college history, and he can go out there and win. And we're in love with Trevor, and he went out there and beat Trevor in college, and Trevor's ready to play right now. And he's always been compared to Trevor even coming out of high school, and they're just 1A, 1B. Give that guy his credit. Let him play right now, and I think he's ready. Day one. That's my guy, Justin Fields. No stats or anything to talk about. I'm just hyping him up right now, pure opinion.
No, I mean, I respect the Chicago Bears organization making a pick like that in the draft. I know that it was super questionable where, whether or not Justin Fields was going to be picked before they even reached the Bears. But I think that was the best choice for them because I don't think Andy Dalton is the answer. And I actually think going into week one, we're going to see Justin Fields as QB1, and he might be that quarterback that might be that sneaky, go for over 300 points in fantasy this coming season.
Yeah, I can see that being like a Dak situation where chip on his shoulder, kind of slid a little bit in the draft. And, to me, pressure's off at that point because now you can just go prove all the haters wrong. So I like the situation for Justin Fields. I'm glad he actually slid a little bit.
Yeah, and I was really confused by why the Bears organization was kind of releasing statements like, hey, we're going with Andy. And it's like, why even say that this soon? Like, you got to go through training camp. You got to figure it out. Are you really going to make that type of statement now? I mean, maybe it's their mentality where they're kind of like, well, let's kind of give Justin Fields some, motivation to kind of prove us why he should be QB1. I don't know. They could be going for that tactic as well.
Yeah,
some teams never learn.
That's true. But I'm excited to watch Justin Fields. All right, Ruth, who you got for us?
I'm probably going to have to agree with John Dean, who's in the comments, and talk about Justin Herbert. I mean, offensive rookie of the year, put up some great numbers, came in, didn't even know he was going to play, and his very first start was against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions from the year prior, and then they almost win in overtime. So Justin Herbert is definitely the QB that I'm going to keep my eye on. I'm not really sure how his fantasy numbers added up last year, but I know that, he threw for a lot of yards, completed a lot of touchdowns. So he's probably going to be that sneaky pick for fantasy.
Nah, he's a dog, and I love him. The only thing that I want to pay attention to is they have a new coach, a new offensive system. And if they become a little bit more run heavy, and the defense should improve with the injuries, they got a lot of good injured players coming back. If that situation turns into a run heavy situation, or the defense is so heavy so they don't need him to throw as much, that might scale his numbers down. But he's like talent wise, a great quarterback, so you can't knock that. But if some of the efficiency and some of the numbers as far as like attempts come down, I wouldn't be so surprised. But he's still a great quarterback.
Perfect situation. A lot of veterans around him. Austin Eckler, you got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams on the outside. They just brought in a veteran, Jared Cook, at the tight end position to take over the middle. So he's set up for success on the offensive side. So I like it.
Hell yeah. All right, Dynasty Bro Vic.
All right, man. My guy, Trevor Lawrence, man. So this is a guy, who's been getting a lot of hype. I mean, going back to his high school days and even back to the Clemson days. So hey, he's an elite talent. That's what he's known for, especially with his arm strength and accuracy. In his 3 seasons at Clemson, he's completed 67% of his passes, thrown for over 10,000 yards in 3 seasons and 90 touchdowns. And he has rushing upside. So I like that about his game. He's put up 16 rushing touchdowns. So not only is he an elite pocket passer, but he can also get it done on the ground. So you'll take that all day long. And he'll lower his shoulders, so he's a tough runner. So I'm just excited because, again, we all saw what Gardner Minshew did in that Jaguars offense when he had the reins.
That was a guy for like a game.
That was my guy. He was on pace.
Did Gardner get released, or they still have him on their roster, right?
He's
still on the team.
But
still on the roster, okay.
He was on pace for a top 12 season. But, of course, you could tell they didn't want him to mess up the Jaguars owning the #1 pick. So you got to yank the guy. But, hey, again, I like Trevor Lawrence situation. He's stepping in with some nice weapons with DJ Shark, Visca Chenault. They got a veteran in Marvin Jones. And then, of course, they gave him his guy, Travis Etienne from college, in the backfield with him. So I like everything I'm seeing as far as the Jags are doing. My only concern and question mark is Urban Meyer. How is he going to run that offense, though? What does it look like? Are we going to see some Ohio State on Sunday? So, all in all, I'm excited for Trevor. So what are your thoughts on that?
A super generational talent. I mean, coming out of high school, all eyes have been on this, what do they call him? Sunshine Boy, or
I think I don't know actually. What's the
Sunshine? They have a nickname, Sunshine Baby or something like that. So I mean, he's been incredible to watch. He's been elite and getting better with every year going. It was really unfortunate that he went down with COVID during the last situation, because I kind of feel like when he came back, he wasn't the same Trevor that we had seen earlier in the playoffs. So I'm excited to see what Urban Meyer is going to do with him, because I mean, this might be the best situation where it's like we have a college coach that has a lot of college experience, and we have a rookie that's 21 years old coming into the NFL for the first time. So it might be a marriage that works out great for them when they have 2 first time, pretty much 2 rookies.
Yeah, like echo everything you guys said. They got weapons around them that works with them. Brought in his running back from college, brought in a veteran, got some stud guys already there, Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark. So I'm just excited to see what they do. That's all I'm worried about, to see
Are they winning more than 7 games? Yes or no?
Hell no. Hell no. They defense still sucks.
Well, you know what? AFC South, so I'm going to go with the no. I will say this. We get to see them up close, though, since they're in our division. So I'm looking forward to checking out the games. One last thing I want to add, is good to see Trevor actually building chemistry with his teammates off the field. So there's a social media video out there, Visca, Marvin Jones, and Shark hanging out with Trevor on a boat. So that's cool, man, like spending time.
How long until he gets like the biggest Head and Shoulders commercial or like contract ever? That's what I'm waiting on. I know Head and Shoulders is just waiting to get their hands on him.
I never thought about that, but yeah, I'm gonna look out for that.
Yeah, I could see Trevor Lawrence being one of like almost like a Baker Mayfield, where he's gonna get like an extreme contract with either Head and Shoulders or one of those big corporations that are gonna have him in a lot of commercials, because everybody just loves Trevor.
Hopefully Trevor balls out, because those Baker commercials was out when Baker wasn't balling, so that was kind of awkward, but looked like Baker's on track.
That's because he wrote his own material, bro. He couldn't focus on football. He was writing his own script and commercial. Man.
Yo, it's like a 30-second commercial. It can't take that long to write that script.
And he be working on dance moves.
Yeah. All right, let's go in the room real quick. Just name your QBs again, and then we'll get into the scout report.
Yeah, I talked about Dak, my guy, comeback player of the year. I'm putting my money on it. And Justin Fields, my favorite rookie quarterback coming out of the class. Double down on him.
Yeah, I agree with the Justin Fields comment, but I'm going with Justin Herbert going into next season. I mean, he's coming off of being offensive rookie of the year, so it's going to be great with the supporting cast that he has. But a little questionable with the new coaching staff and how all the changes might affect him going into next season. But I have my eyes on Justin. And, of course, Tom Brady, obviously. Don't even need to say more.
There you go. I'll leave it at that. My 2 guys are Lamar Jackson. I feel like he's the forgotten guy that can get you a top 5 finish in fantasy. And worst case, his floor is a top 10 play. You'll take that all day long. And then I'm excited. My number 1 QB, as far as from a rookie draft class, Trevor Lawrence. So I'm expecting him to be as advertised like an Andrew Luck.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so that's the main segment, the QB Outlook. We haven't done this in a while, man, and this is one of my favorite segments. We are about to do the scouting report, and the truth, you got to stay with us through this, because I want you to meet this great artist that we're going to have come up. We're going to play a couple of his tracks, and then I need you to stay around too, so you can say something good to the people. That's how we do our closing. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely, I'm locked in.
All right, bet. I know we started a little late. I apologize to everybody, but we getting to it, you know. So I would like to bring to the podcast Mr. Eastside Tony right now. Yeah. Just released TWOture 2 yesterday. Shout out to him.
Hold on, let me take my pause out, man.
Oh man, take the pause out, and you gotta talking to the mic.
Yo, what up?
All right, that's what I'm
Eastside
talking
Tony.
about. That's what I'm talking about. So look, how you doing, brother? You good?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just moving and grooving, man. Working on getting the music back going and whatnot. You know how it go.
All right, man. What I want to do before we spin some music, tell people what the project is called.
Man, it's called TWOture 2, man. It's like the second installment to a project I put out. This like my first space, or I'm gonna say opportunity to put myself into the stream world, like Apple Music, all that and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my first time. I've been doing music for a while, but I'm excited for this one because it's my first project in the stream world. You feel me?
Hell yeah, man. If you don't know me and this guy right here, we go back. We go back to little ones, man, and I'm excited about him. I'm always excited when he do shit, man. It's like, it's personal, and it ain't just one of those.
It's real personal. It's one of them words for me too, bro. It's kind of crazy, man. Like, part of this is like a dedication to my brother, passed away when I was 5 years old. Well, I was 4, turning 5. You know what I'm saying? And the cover is actually a tribute to him. Like, it was actually the suit that I put on at his funeral, so it's kind of crazy. And I dropped it on his birthday, which was yesterday. Today is June 20th, but yesterday was his birthday, June 19th, or July 19th, I'm sorry. So yeah, I've been excited to put this out and share. It's a personal experience, but like I said, it's my first time into the stream world, so I'm excited about it. I'm ready to keep it going for real.
All right. So what we gonna do? We about to just get straight into it.
Oh yeah.
So then I can ask you some questions about the music, and I have you tell where people can follow you at and all that shit, man. So what we're gonna do is we got DJ Devin Butler in the background right now. He about to spin some music whenever he ready. Wait, introduce the tracks, bro. You can do that.
All right, man. Check this out, man. It's Eastside Tony. This is my debut EP in the stream world. It's called TWOture 2. This first track got like a little extended intro at the beginning, but what I had Dev do was cut it down a little bit, so we're gonna jump straight into the track, and we mixed it a little bit to get into the second one. So I hope y'all enjoy both of them. It's real short and quick, like short, quick, short and sweet, and I hope y'all enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Something just to vibe to, two little bops. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
For sure. I go. My Brody hit me like, we need to make them hits again, and don't you care about what they say? I'll be listening. I got you, Bob. So here I go. I got the gist of it. In midst of it, I found my wave and ain't no fishes here. But swimming here. What you know about having nothing in your account? And all you wanna do is count, but everybody count you out. That's when you learn what life's about. Yeah. Look, got so much pain deep down I buried. I don't tell nobody. I had to look off in that mirror. I don't owe nobody. And vice versa, I'm acting different. I don't know nobody. Go against the grain, we need some distance. How I go about it? It's get back time, it feel like I'm turning new leaves. I gotta get back on my grind and going on beats. Back in the day, I made a profit, burning CDs. We locked back in the tunnel vision, all I could see. Let's take our time, you got that. Bomb, and I ain't line, bet you wine, fine. Say, bet you wine, fine. Yeah, let's take our time, you got that. Bomb, and I ain't line, bet you wine, fine. Say, bet you wine, fine. Yeah, I'm on the grind, not much of time, but when I line up my schedule with your schedule, we getting sexual. For sure. I give you love, a kissing, hug, that's a love bug in my heart for you part of it. I ain't just your silhouette, I love the art in you. Yeah. Let's take our time, you got that. Bomb, and I ain't line, bet you wine, fine. Say, bet you wine, fine. Yeah, let's take our time, you got that. Bomb, and I ain't line, bet you wine, fine. Say, bet you wine, fine. Look, you need some space. It's on your face. Let's go a place where you could take your time and ease your mind. You need to unwind. For sure. It's been a while, your vibe is wow, it make me smile, just wanna show you I appreciate you. Hit the cabins out in Gatlin, wanna see the neighbors. Let's take our time, you got that bomb, and I ain't line, babe, you wine, fine. Say, babe, you wine, fine. Hey, yeah, let's take our time, you got that bomb, and I ain't line, babe, you wine, fine. Say, babe, you wine, fine.
Hey.
Short and sweet, like I said, you know what I'm saying?
That's we were just talking about it, just making adult music, like grown up music that we can listen
man, we
to.
in that space, man. I don't want to get on here and like speak on the age bracket that we in, but man, like don't get it twisted. I love the youth right now and the rap music that we seeing right now, but it's kind of time for like some grown and sexy or some cool R&B type music. You know, we missing that right now. Like it's saturated with just like we don't got nothing smooth. It's like everybody angry.
Everybody. No, but you're right. You're right about that. And both of your songs that he just played were phenomenal. I like the last one. That last one had a nice little smooth remedy to it. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Ruth.
Keep doing your thing.
Thank you very much.
All right, man. So the space.
For sure.
How did you get to that space, bro? To want to make these tracks? I mean, it ain't like something super far fetched, but just to get to that mentality to be like, all right, I know I need to make this music. I'm getting older. I want to find me a target audience. And like, how did you get to that space to make these tracks? Because I done heard more than these tracks too. Yeah. And it's a good ass space, bro.
I guess I can say up to this point, I've been listening to a lot of music, and I could say, like I said a few minutes ago, just like we seeing a lot of angry music and rap, and that's nothing against what it is. I enjoy a lot of it. I like the energy and the vibe, but what I'm saying is I think it's just a space where we missing that type of R&B, that feel good music. Like we missing like men saying, hey, I love the curves of a woman, I love the mind, and we missing that. It's almost like, nah, we get money, let's be aggressive, let's show how masculine we are, you know what I'm saying? And then we getting that from females as well, like let's show how tough we can be without masculine. So I don't want to paint that. I'm kind of trying to influence it at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Because I love the woman, I ain't gonna lie, but it's more like we see too much of it, so I can't speak for me. Everything I'm creating, like I tell everybody, I'm trying to manifest my divine feminine.
He said that shit earlier.
I'm single. Come on.
Oh Lord, I love. Hey, for real though. TWOture 2 is fire as hell, and I'm excited for it.
Sweet.
So this is what I need you to do. Tell the good people where they can follow you at.
Man, you can follow me on Twitter at Eastside Tony. That's Tony with an I and the number 2. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Eastside Tony with an I. All
right, and minus the social medias, you got a website?
Yeah, I got a website too, man, where I plan on releasing majority of the material that I don't try to leak to the world. I want to try to generate traffic and make everybody gravitate towards the site. So that's eastsidetony.com. So check me out on there, man. The website's short and sweet as well because we just getting the ball rolling, man. I got a lot of people shoot me ideas and offers and everything like that. So I'm trying to get to a point where I'm trying to build off that. So hopefully people start to gravitate towards me. I look forward to putting out more music, and I hope everybody enjoy it.
Is this your Twitter account?
Yes, that's my Twitter account. Okay. That's me, and them is my personal tweets. I say what I want, but nah. Some people be like, my publicist said, nah, man, we say what we want, but we watch what we say too from a real mature space.
That's how it should be. That's
absolutely.
Most definitely.
I love that. All right, so look, now that we move away from the Scout Report, we got Tone. I want to do this, and then I'm gonna have Tone go first, and then we're gonna flip back, bring Vic back so he can get back into the closing. But look, we're gonna do the closing. The closing is called Say Something Good to the People. And for those that don't know, that's where we bring to light any stresses of life, you know, things that we're down on, or even things that we're happy about, or maybe want to shed light on an entrepreneur or a business or some new invention, anything that you feel like need to be brought to the light right now. Because I tell people all the time, we're bigger than the Fantasy Football Podcast. We like to we want to let people know we're real men at heart. Like, we're normal people. We go through daily things. Like, I'll be stressed out. I want to tell Vic, like, hey bro, today was a shitty ass day, but I'm gonna tell everybody at the same time, because I need everybody to know that I ain't just here every day to be Dynasty Bro died, and I'm
Exactly.
like, I can put it on, and I know my facts, but I still want y'all to know the ups and the downs at the same time to let y'all know I'm human just like everybody else. So, what we'll do is, matter of fact, I'll go first so everybody can know, like, so we can put everybody in the space. Or I ain't gonna go too like deep this time, but you know, you get yours ready to truth, because I hope you got something that you want to say. So no, I'll go first, and then maybe you want to piggyback, or maybe you got something different you want to talk about. I'll do this again. Hey, make sure you appreciate the people around you. Like I said, I'm in the stage of recovery from my surgery, and I want to shout out my friends, my family, just even the people that are just my followers on Twitter that have reached out to me, inboxed me like, damn, I watched the episode. It's good to see you back. I didn't know you went through hip surgery. I want to, you know, I'm sending you prayers. I'm sending you good vibes on your recovery. I want to thank you, because you don't understand how much that means when somebody down and can't do nothing. I'm a move around type person. I'm used to being in and out. I'm used to working as much as I can, being on the go, helping everybody else. And my village done showed the fuck up since I've been down, man. So I want to thank everybody, because you never know what somebody going through, man. So make sure you playing your part in the village that you in, reaching out to people, letting them know you love them, making sure they all right, because you never know who gonna need that shit. So that's my say something good to the people. And usually I would throw Avo in to go first, but he ain't here. And I meant to tell Devin he better think of one in a second. So I ain't making him go next, because I didn't tell him to think of one. So I'm going to say this. Tone, the truth, one of y'all got anything y'all would like to say?
I just want to say thank you to everyone, all my followers who reached out to me today. My family's going through a little bit of a struggle, but we are sticking together and we're going to power through, because we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for all the prayers. The Twitter community is just such a beautiful place for everyone to kind of connect. And I've met a lot of great people through social media. So yes, social media definitely has their ups and downs, but it's awesome to have people in your corner. So I just want to say thank you. And just continue to shed light on the world, and just there's enough darkness. So just try to be the light in every room you step in.
Facts. Tone?
I'm big on mental health, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Whether you need to reach out to somebody and help them put you in a place because you're in a space that you don't know how to get out of, or if you just need to vent for yourself, sometimes you gotta look in the mirror. And two, like I said, I'm big on this male and female interaction type, you know what I'm saying, vibe. Like, we don't see a lot of relationships. I ain't saying that as a single person. I'm saying we don't see that. Like, we real separate. We built to be together, you know what I'm saying? So I think people need to focus on being together and work on those type of things, and use mental health as a form to like face those fears or issues you have with interacting with people. Like I said, we supposed to move like a unit. We meant to be together, masculine and feminine, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to promote that.
Stronger together.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
In fact, before I move to Devin, I want to say this one more time, because they about to swap places. I want to thank Tone for coming on. TWOture 2 out right now. All streaming platforms is fire. Go check that out. And he got so much more in store. And I just want to thank you, brother. So much more in store. I got the goofy smile on my face just because I know what he's doing. And I just want to give him his flowers. Go check him out, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
Thank y'all for having me, man. It's a pleasure meeting you, Ruth. Thank you.
Yo, likewise. Have a good day.
Hey, Devin, say something good to the people, bro, while we bringing my bro Vic back.
Something good to the people. Just keep it 100 with yourself, man. As soon as you do that, man, relief is going to happen. That's pretty much it, man. Short and simple.
That's facts. And last but not least, my guy, I know he got something good to say to the people. He better, because, you know, we do this every week.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I got you, man. I got you. All right, look. So,
pressure. A lot of pressure.
Hey, I'm all about breaking generational curses. So, you know, I grew up in a dysfunctional environment, but at the end of the day, everybody's family dysfunctional in some way or another. But I basically want to shout out my fam. I basically put together a family meeting that way we could just all be transparent and talk through some things. And, you know, it was a conversation I wasn't looking forward to having, but I'm glad I did it. And then throughout this entire week, my dad been calling me like, hey, I'm glad you put that together, man. And like, he just kept thanking me. So it just goes to show the power of communication, especially when you're open and honest without being disrespectful and, you know, expressing some concerns from a place of love. So I'm going to just, you know, preach that, you know, set up that time with your family, even if it's once a month, even if y'all don't have nothing to talk about, just have that, you know, space in place and, you know, just have that forum and, you know, where you can actually talk through some stuff. And have some dinner afterwards. So
Hey, Big Dad is top 5 funniest people I ever met in my life. It's just the way he speaks.
yeah.
He's so real. He don't sugarcoat shit.
So imagine all that with a Nigerian accent on top of that. So. A heavy one. But shout out to Pops, shout out to the fam, man. So that's that, man. So yeah.
Hey, this episode was so fucking jam-packed. I'm so happy. Like I said, thanks again to Eastside Tony, my guy. Tony, I appreciate you. The Truth. One more time, tell the people where they can follow you at before we get the fuck up out of here, please.
Yo, thank you for having me, guys. You guys were awesome. I had a lot of fun. Anytime you guys need me back, make sure to hit me up. Follow me on Twitter, Ruth the Truth with 3 H's at the end. I'll give you a follow back. I have a lot of content. Football season is like 55 days away or 52, one or the other. And I'm just going to be flooding your feed with constant NFL and, content. So just be ready for it.
That's fire. Y'all heard that shit. And then one more time, give him his flowers. My guy, DJ Devin Butler, man. I hit him up last minute and was like, bro, I know you work second shift. I need a DJ. It's second shift time, and look at my guy DJing for us, man. That's love. I appreciate it.
All good, my brother. All good.
That's friends turn brothers, and that's what you do for people, man. And he got the fire ass Buzz Lightyear hat on. I wasn't gonna call it out, but
He
now
stay
I
fresh,
said
bro.
it. Yeah,
He always pull out some retro.
Right on.
He always pull out some retro shit. That'd be fun.
And if you ain't know, when we started this podcast, we was trying to play new music every week from like up and coming people, just like even people we didn't know. Devin gave us about 89% of those songs because he's so heavy indulged into hip-hop, man. That's why he deserved to be a DJ, because that's what he's meant to do. He love music. He help us out with anything that we call him for. So that's love, and I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, and I also want to shout out our brother DJ Avo. Make sure y'all give him a follow too at DJ AVOLXVE. I try to say it like how he would say it. So shout out to him. And prayers up to him and his family, man. I don't speak on what everybody going through, but prayers to him and his family. He had to travel, so at least prayers up for the safe travels and everything so he can get back. We're gonna be rocking again next week. And he better have a number close to the episode next time. Whoop his ass. And you can follow me at DynastyBro on Instagram and Twitter, and the main Instagram page, DynastyBrosFF. Vic, where can we follow you at one more time? You can follow me at TWOture. And again, I want to thank everybody for listening. Make sure you guys follow Ruth the Truth. Make sure you guys follow Eastside Tony too. I'm gonna retweet all that. Make sure you guys follow DJ Devin Butler.
3 H's in the Truth.
This was fire, man. Jam packed, like you
H's.
said, man. I had a good time. So hopefully you guys are willing to come back on. You guys want to come back?
Hell yeah.
All right, cool. I like that. All right, man. So with that being said, it's been another edition of the Dynasty Bros. We show you how to dominate your fantasy football leagues and your life.
Devin got to walk us out.
I got to walk y'all out. All right, this is what I'm going to do, man. I just lied and said I might come back. But, Avo, I need you to come back because my knee hurt. Let's get it.